All right, today we're going to talk about being a one woman kind of man. We're pulling this more or less from chapter 4 in Point Man. I'll put a link to the book below. But so many men sort of blow it for their legacy, they blow it for their family, for their wife, for their kids, just because they don't really think about the vows that they have made to their wife. You know, in my ministry, I've married hundreds of couples. And all of the vows always say something like this: I make a commitment to you for better or for worse, for rich or poor, till death parts us, till we die. But so many men these days blow it and they don't stay faithful to their vows. I just challenge you to go all in, make an all in commitment to one woman for your entire life. And there's three major commitments I think that you need to make in order to do that. First, you need to make an all in commitment with your eyes. Take a look at what it says in Job chapter 31, verse 1. I made a covenant with my eyes not to look with lust at a young woman. This is such a great verse. You know, it was written thousands of years ago. Job is potentially the oldest book in the Bible. Job lived probably even before Abraham lived. But look at how important this basic covenant still is for men today, especially in today's culture and today's internet culture where you can get porn on your phone. Make a covenant with your eyes. Maybe write that verse down and memorize it. Make a covenant with your eyes that you're not going to look lustfully upon a woman. I know sometimes when I sit there and watch a football game with my son AJ, he's 13, and a commercial comes on with a scantily clad woman. AJ, I've taught him this. I do the same thing. We both sort of look away. We both bounce our eyes. We're not both staring there. He's not staring. I'm not staring. I've modeled it for him. He's made a covenant with his eyes because I've made a covenant with my eyes. Guys, it's one thing to look and notice that someone's beautiful. It's another thing to look with lust upon a woman. So make that first covenant. Now, the second thing is to make an all-in commitment with your mind. You know, the battlefield for most of us men, the battlefield starts right up here. We think it, and then we eventually allow it to penetrate into our hearts, and pretty soon now we're acting on something that is not true. We need to learn to identify the lies that we believe. I'll put a link to that topic below. That's a great one to talk about with some of the men in your group. There's that place in Scripture that says that I take all of my thoughts captive and I force them to be obedient to Christ. That's a great sort of militaristic picture that we have of capturing our thoughts and controlling our thoughts instead of allowing our thoughts to control us. You know, just because you're tempted doesn't mean that you're sinning. Jesus was tempted, yet he never sinned. Have enough self-control to recognize that there's a temptation and then take it captive and don't let it take you captive. So make a commitment to go all in with the way that you think. Now, there's one more commitment I want to talk about, and it's a commitment with your feet. The author talks about a lot of different commitments, you know, with your lips and with your hands, but I want to just really focus on this last one, your feet. What that means is that we have to, as men, we have to be willing to flee, to run away from sin and temptation. You know, maybe you're hanging out with some friends on a Friday night, maybe you're at work, maybe you're in some other kind of a situation, maybe even at church, maybe in the neighborhood, maybe in the gym. One of these basic practical commitments that you need to make and I need to make is just that we're willing to do what Joseph did in Genesis. You know, Joseph is advanced upon by Potiphar's wife, and what did he do? You know, she said she wanted to have sex with him. He ran away. You know, we're men, we don't flee. No, we should flee from this thing. We should flee from sin. We should flee from temptation. And so I encourage you to talk about, maybe with some of the guys in your life, what are some areas where I need to have this, because of my all-in commitment for my wife, for one woman, what are some situations that I need to be willing to run away from? Maybe you're even in a situation right now and you need to run away from that. And guys, this topic isn't just for men who are married. This is also just any godly young man. You know, if you're someone who wants to honor God with your life, you still need to make these commitments even if you're not married. You know, sex outside of marriage is not honoring to God, and so probably you need to be as vigilant about making these commitments as any other married man needs to as well. So again, why do it? Because we want to be men, point men who honor God and lead our families well. So make sure that you make this all-in commitment to being a one-woman kind of man. Now, use the questions below. Talk about this with your group or mentor. And we'll see you in the next video.